Howdy guys, this is Maverick here, and we are today watching episode 10 of Gleipnir. So, last episode, Shuichi and friends managed to get themselves into the forest where they cross paths with some, bad gangs, I guess you could say. They managed to defeat one of them to incur the further wrath of the gang, and well, now they are being stopped by their boss, this gorilla dude, who seems very, very strong. And well, I think from what we've seen so far of their capabilities, both Shuichi's as well as the rest of them, I don't think they are in any position to stop the gorilla. So probably either Shuichi is gonna have to do some merging real quick with either Claire or someone else, or perhaps they're gonna have to call upon their secret weapon Sanbei, right? Who I believe is probably still tailing them in some sort of way. I believe that was the deal that they made. But even then, I feel like even with Sanbei here, it's not going to be a very easy fight. Not to mention, even if you do take down the boss, there's still tons of other gang members there, right? So they gotta demonstrate something like really power overwhelming and whatnot to completely beat the crap out of either the gorilla or the others so that they don't continue to mess with them. Anyways, let's get right into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Why are you interested? It's probably not gonna do anything. Wow. Damn. Oh. Yeah, here's the rest of them. How are you gonna get out of this situation? No, but seriously, they are, like I said in the last episode, they were being way too overconfident. They treated it like a school trip, and they are now suffering the consequences of it. So, what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be some quick tongue from Claire? They're going to call on Sunday? Or what? Definitely seems like a pretty hopeless situation right now, eh? But honestly, I would have preferred if we got some more screen time with Arena and whatnot. But, yeah, sure. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Alright. So you're like a middleman now?
車だろうが女だろうが欲しいものがあったら何でも言え。俺がすべて手に入れてやる。
ずいぶん単純な考えね。
いいんだよ、単純で。世の中の方が複雑すぎんだよ。わざと複雑にすることでバカな奴が損するようにできてんだ。俺はこいつらみてえなバカを幸せにしてやりてんだよ。大事な仲間だからな。そういやお前ら、うちの森田を可愛がってくれたらしいな。俺もボスとして大事な仲間をやられて黙ってるわけにもいかねえ。そこで悪いが、お前らの中の一人に死んでもらう。誰を犠牲にするかはお前たちが決めろ。殺すのはこっちでやってやる。
ふざけるな。誰がそんなこと。
嫌ならお前ら全員皆殺しだ。
貴様。はい、質問。
なんだ。
さっきあんたがうちのチームの2人を殴ったじゃない。その2人のどっちかがもう死んでたとしたらどうすんの。
So it's going to depend on the quick tongue of Claire.
いい質問だ。そばかす女。
Freckles.
だがそれでも一人選んでもらう。いわばこれは通過儀礼だ。お前たちが俺たちと同じクソ野郎になるためのな。いい質問をしたご褒美にそばかす女。お前は見逃してやる。目を見りゃわかる。お前はこっち側だ。時間をやる。ゆっくり話し合え。
Huh.
自分に素直に綺麗事なんざ捨てて。
Yeah.
欲しいのはそういう。
He's actually pretty reasonable. Alright. How are they gonna get this? Are they gonna use this?
よかったわ。2人とも生きてて。
あいつら一体何なんだ。あんなに凶暴なのに大事な仲間って言ったり。
あっちも仲間が大事でこっちも仲間が大事。皮肉だけどどっちも同じようなものね。どう秀一。匂いでわかる。
200メートルくらい離れた河原にいる。多分
It's you.
と脅かしすぎたかしら。覚悟がないのにめったなことを言うもんじゃないわ。
Alright. Flashback time for him.
みてえな俺にこんな日が来るなんて思ったこともねえから何をやってもうまくいかず他人とも全く馴染めずただただ下ばっか向いてた俺がまあ下向いてたおかげであのコインを拾うことができたんだけどな
But if you found even if you did find a coin, how did you know to go to the vending machine?
そうだなお前らみてえなクソな仲間に囲まれてこんな幸せな気分踏まれて初めてだぜ
I gotta say, this is a pretty interesting villain character. You don't typically see people like that in normal. I mean, this isn't exactly a shonen, right? This is a seinen, but still.
騒ぎになってる間に逃げてください。ダメだ。お前一人を見捨てるわけにはい。そうね。悪くないわね。見直したわ。それなりに肝が据わってるじゃない。だけどあっちにもイケオチみたいな見える能力者がいるかもしれないわ。透明ってだけで安心はできないわ。でもクレアの言う通りだ。それに殺してしまってはあいつらと同じ化け物になってしまう。
Okay.
これをここに植えてほしいの。これは？
I guess those are hallucinogenics or what, or something like that.
これは？
Seem like
この花は一体。
why does Isao look like he's ghost?
この花は確か。なんて女だ。よしよか。お前だけは必ず助ける。この美しい花から感じる不吉な匂い。けど僕は知っている。クレアの行動には必ず合理的な意味がある。
So either poison or hallucinogenics or something like that. I can't quite tell though. I can't quite recognize what it is.
ないわ。だってこれからすることはとても悪いことだから。いい子の秀
Let me get my hands dirty. You can stay clean.
他の仲間にはできないことが私にだったらできる。怖いのは特別な能力を持った存在でも、強大な力を持った存在でも、兄弟な力を持った敵でもない。怖いのはそれを使う人間よ。
僕にやらせてくれ。僕だって今がどれだけ危険な状況なのか分かって
I really like the BGM here.
助けたいんだみんなを。覚悟はできてる。
ダメ。
これ以上君だけに罪を背負わせたくない。たとえそれが間違ったことだとしても。
Ooh.
二人で一つだろう。
Ooh.
人は誰かのためなら、たとえそれがどんな全
I
力
love how it's in this atmosphere as well with all
になれる。
flowers.
きっとあの人もそうだったんだろう。
No, I seriously don't know what these flowers are. I know it's probably drugs of some sort.
なんでちゃんと見張ってなかった。
悪い。まさか逃げるなんて思ってなくて、少し目を離した隙に。待ってくれ。早く逃げるんだ。俺はあいつらを裏切った。俺と吉岡っていう女、二人を仲間に入れてくれ。
Wait, I thought with the ability he can't betray them.
あそこ燃えてるぞ。あいつら山に火つけやがった。最後の悪あがきか。
大した日じゃねえ。
イサオ、あの一面に植えた花は何なんだ。
京畜島だよ。それは特別な植物なのか。いや、どこにでも生えている。
Just easily flammable.
公園にだって植えられているような花だよ。
Huh.
でもあまり知られてないけど、
Oh, can it explode?
京畜島には猛毒があるんだ。
Okay, okay. Reason.
そしてその毒は葉や花だけじゃなく、燃やした煙にまで含まれる。くっそ、もうダメだ。
さっきから何言ってんだおめえ。
マジでやばいんだって。この花はな、うちの仲間が能力で生やし。
Yeah. Bye bye.
勝手に死んだ。なんだこいつ。どうする。
Finally, we don't need to hear his annoying voice and face anymore.
皆殺しだ。
吉岡、相原、大丈夫か。
捕まってて。
このまま行くわよ。ありがとう。
早く森を抜けよう。
Do they already know that they were betrayed? Well, nobody's asking where he is, so...
ちょっと待ってくれ。なんか気持ち悪い。俺もだ。
Wait, he's the only one who doesn't feel anything? Damn.
まだか。やばいぞ。火がどんどん強くなってきてる。
なんだこれは。あの花の毒なのか。
早く逃げよう。動けるやつだけでも。
お前ら先に逃げろ。
何言ってんだ。まずはリーダーのお前か。
バカ野郎。忘れたのか。俺は何があってもお前らを見捨てねえ。
Yeah.
俺も手伝う。
Who knows? They might survive.
あいつがあの煙に巻き込まれる前にまっすぐこっちに向かってくることは考えなかったの。そうね、もしそうなら私たちは終わってたわね。けど私はそうならない方にかけた。
Can abandon his men.
あいつが仲間を助ける方にかけたのよ。
Nice.
言ったでしょ。怖いのは特別な能力を持った存在でも強大な力を持った敵でもない。それを使う人間だって。
I kind of feel like they aren't safe yet, though.
クレア、お前が少し怖くなった。最初はただ信用できるやつだと思っていたが、今はお前が一体何を考えているのか。エレナのこともわからなくなった。あいつが殺人鬼のはずがない。そんなの信じられるか。そう思っていたが、私もそうだった。あの日、どうして姉が私にコインを預けたのか、それがずっとわからなくて。けどね、週一に会ってから少しだけ分かってきた気がするの。姉が私に何を望んでいたのか。
Join her?
自分の犯した罪の重さに耐えられなくて。でもそこから逃げることもできなくて。クレア、仕方ないでしょ。姉を救えるのは
Stop her?
二人しかいないから。
おや、久しぶりですね。どうですか？コインは順調に集まってますか？
Hmm. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, see you guys after this. Alrighty, so even though this episode wasn't quite as action-packed as some of the previous ones, but I gotta say, all in all, I really liked this episode, and most particularly in the way that the story developed, how the events unfolded and whatnot, and basically, anytime there is a series where the actions of the main characters almost makes you feel like they are the bad guys in a sense, whereas the bad guys you almost feel sympathetic towards them. I feel like that is great story writing, because I love it when stories actually try to make this distinction between, hey, it's, they're all equally bad and whatnot. It really just depends on your point of view, right? In this sense, we are looking at this world, we're looking at this work through the eyes of Claire and Shuichi, so we're rooting for them, but it's all relative, basically. In fact, I almost wish that they went the extra step and made us feel sympathetic for the bad guys even more, right? For Madoka and whatnot. They tried to do some of it. Definitely, I was surprised on last episode when Madoka showed this camaraderie with members of his gang and whatnot, and how he basically says he's not going to abandon any of them. We can see that in this episode as well. I almost wish they went a little bit further for that and really tried to build up the character of Madoka, and perhaps, even let us take a look at what all that they've been through. And I feel like they sort of shot themselves in the foot here by making their monster transformations too monstrous in a sort of way, right? But I guess they still wanted to emphasize that they were the bad guys, but I almost feel like it would have worked even better, at least for me, if they really tried to show them in a good light and whatnot, and show, hey, they're maybe just a little bit misunderstood and so on and so forth, but they just happened to pick on the wrong people, and so that caused their death, right? I would have loved it if it went like that. As it stands, I don't think any normal person would have much would have much disagreement with how Claire handled things. I definitely don't think anybody in their own group would would object to their lives being saved, even though they might say, "Oh, you shouldn't kill people and whatnot." But come on, let's be real here. Let's be real here. It's not like the opponents that they're facing are some angels or just some villains or whatnot, right? They literally put the jump on other gatherers and slaughter them if they don't comply. So there's really no love lost anywhere there. So I think most people are probably going to look at this and still come out and thinking, yeah, they just managed to get through this entire situation. And I really love the fact that Claire actually utilized the fact that that Madoka couldn't really leave his friends and whatnot as a way, within her logic of how they are going to escape this. So that is 2 thumbs up from me in terms of what Claire did this episode. Brilliant. Super brilliant. I love it when we have characters who actually try to think things through, right? As for what else, I gotta say the atmosphere this episode was also built very well. The point where she was asking the guy to grow all the flowers and whatnot, and then her later conversation with Shuichi. Like I said, the BGM there was great, and the artistic atmosphere that was portrayed there, with all the flowers flying around and whatnot, that was great as well. I feel like that was definitely a good scene. Although I feel like the impact might have been a little bit, the impact could have been even more deepened if, like I said, we feel more sympathetic for the bad guys, and then we realize that what Claire is going to do is she's going to slaughter them all. I feel like that would make that, you guys get on saying, that would make that scene much, much more impactful, because she's basically saying she is going to be the one that dirties the hands, as so the others can keep their hands clean, and then Shuichi's saying, no, I won't let you, take this burden all by yourself, right? So that's in essence what that entire scene meant. But again, I don't feel like anybody looking at this, any normal person looking at this right now, is going to fault her for taking the actions that she did there, right? So what if it could instead turn around and make us really, really feel for Madoka and his gang as well, right? Like maybe not make them so monstrous, maybe make the flashbacks a little bit longer, maybe let us see how they banded together and formed this little group where they're just a bunch of friends. They're a bunch of friends, and maybe like a bunch of outlaws, if you will, but having a good time with each other, and so on and so forth, right? And then after showing us all that, then show Claire mercilessly slaughtering them all. I think that would make the conversation that we saw there much more impactful. And I don't know, I just feel like it was a missed opportunity there. Beyond that, so what about the aftermath here, right? Honestly, I'm not entirely 100% convinced that Madoka and the others completely perished in this fire. Like, sure, poison is poison, right? But we don't know how maybe they have some enhanced circulation or enhanced resistance to poison due to their monster form and whatnot, right? At the very least, I feel like the guy with who seems to be blind, with the cloth over his eyes and whatnot, I feel like at least he probably survived this ordeal. Not really sure, but somehow I don't feel like this particular episode. Let's put it this way: in anime or manga, I never fully count a character dead until we see that he is confirmed dead on screen, right? So I don't know. I feel like there is still room for some surprises to happen in the next episode. And also, camera dude is dead as well. Thank goodness. Like, no. I mean, he was getting really annoying, I'll be honest, so I do like that he finally bit the dust, and we finally get to see the chain in action, right? So we can see that he was planning to betray the group, and so he got his deserved end. Although I did find it kind of weird that the others didn't, while they were running away, didn't really take notice that he was missing or whatnot, right? You would think that they would actually consider that he was, where is he? We're a bunch of companions, we're a group of friends, right? We can't leave him behind, and so on and so forth. So maybe it would have been better to sort of explain the situation, like maybe actually for them to see him running off, or maybe for the leader to actually feel that someone has betrayed her, and so she can convey this information to the rest of them so that they know they shouldn't stop to search for him, right? Otherwise, I feel like it doesn't really go with their philosophy of, hey, we're all friends, we're all companions, we can't leave others behind, etc., etc. So I feel like that part might have been utilized a bit better as well. But overall, definitely enjoyed this episode. I definitely enjoyed how the antagonists were portrayed in a sort of semi good light, even though it wasn't really up to the standards that I really wanted, which I feel like would have made this series epic. But at least they've tried, right? At least they made a at least they took a step in that direction and really trying to flesh out Claire's character of one that is really pragmatic, really realistic. I mean, sorry, not realistic. Being very much a realist and just doing things logically and in the most ruthless and efficient way. So there we go. That's episode 10 of Gleipnir. I will see you guys next week. Until then, bye bye.